Hey everyone, what's going on? Zane Ellis here, back with another episode of the Storm the Court podcast. I just wrapped up watching the game between the LA Clippers and New York Knicks, and let me tell you, call me crazy, but Karl-Anthony Towns might just be the most underrated superstar in the league right now. I don't want to overreact, but 34 points, 13 rebounds, and a whole lot of swagger? That's no joke. Now, let's recap the game. The Clippers took this one convincingly, winning 126-113. It wasn't exactly a nail-biter, but the Clippers opened the game with a 20-point first quarter, which set the tone. The Knicks, for their part, tried to respond, but just couldn't keep up with the pace. You look at the flow of the game. LA outscored New York in 3 of the 4 quarters, and frankly, the Knicks' defense looked a step slow. That game was a real roller coaster of emotions, starting with excitement watching Clipper fans revel in a dominant performance, shifting to frustration as the Knicks fumbled away any chance of getting back in the game. There were moments of pride, too, especially if you're a Clippers fan, witnessing Kawhi Leonard putting on yet another performance worthy of highlight reels. Now, breaking down individual performances, first off, you've got Karl-Anthony Towns lighting it up with those 34 points. And I mean, he was efficient too, shooting 55% from the field. When Towns is in this kind of zone, it's tough to argue he isn't a top talent. Then there's OG Anunoby, who put up 28 points and looked great doing it. His offensive efficiency was impressive, shooting nearly 65% from the field. He's carving out a nice niche for himself as a secondary scoring option. And of course, let's not forget Kawhi. 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Classic Kawhi stuff. He just knows how to control the pace of a game. All right, my gut feeling on all this is the Knicks need to seriously rethink their approach. They seem to be struggling to find an identity. I mean, you've got decent performances from guys like Mikal Bridges, but when your leading scorer only puts up 17 points, it screams of inconsistency. Look, I know it's still early in the season, but they have to find a rhythm or they risk falling behind in a competitive East. And for the Clippers, they look like they might finally have figured it out. I mean, if everyone stays healthy, which, let's face it, is a big if, they could be a real threat in the playoffs. You might think I'm nuts, but when you've got a guy like Kawhi who can step up and take over, anything's possible. Now, we'll be back soon with more sizzling takes and insights from another exciting NBA season. Stay tuned, folks.